The World Cosplay Summit. It's like the Olympics of cosplay. I've been once before and I'm returned this year as an alumni. What is the World Cosplay Summit, you ask? Well, let me tell you. 41 countries gather this year for the World Cosplay Summit, WCS, held in Nagoya, Japan every year to compete for the title of Grand Champion. This incredible competition has been happening for over 20 years in the heart of Japan, Nagoya. And this year I trekked out to Nagoya once more to attend the festivities. WCS is a skit-based competition in which teams of 2 have to perform a 2.5-minute skit with handmade costumes, and they kind of get to do whatever they want as long as it is from Japanese media. And it's all about to change. Stay tuned, more on that later. Now that I've introduced WCS, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Marmalade. I am one half of Team Australia 2023, which makes me an alumni. What is the alumni program, you say? Well, once you participate and represent your country at the World Cosplay Summit, you get to join the alumni program, which means that every year at the festival, you are able to attend as an alumni member and you get to participate in some of the special events. It has changed quite a lot over the years, and I would be very interested to discuss with a previous alumni member of what it used to be like, because I had a very different experience than I kind of hoped to have. I wanted to be a lot more involved than I ended up being, but I still made the most of my time in Nagoya for WCS this year. WCS is super special in that you get to do so many cultural activities while you're here in Nagoya. It's such a unique thing. I know there's a lot of global cosplay competitions now, but Japan and WCS just has such a special program run by organizers who absolutely love cosplay and love the cultural exchange that happens every year. 41 countries all coming together to celebrate the art of cosplay is an absolutely incredible thing to witness. And if you ever get the chance, I highly recommend you try enter to represent your country. So since I'm not competing this year, things are a little bit different, and honestly my biggest challenge is gonna be surviving the freaking heat. The summer in Nagoya is no joke. It is one of the most dangerous conditions I think you could imagine cosplaying in. Imagine 40-degree weather where you're sweating so much, and because of the humidity, none of your sweat gets like absorbed into the atmosphere. You just end up sweaty everywhere all the time. The second you leave your house, the sun is beaming down at you. Heat stroke, oh, it's coming for you. And there's only so many things you can do to really avoid the heat. You can stay in the aircon as much as you can, but a lot of the events take place outside. You can drink as much water as you can, but then you need to use the bathroom all the time, and you can't do that when you have events to do. But I prepared my wipes, I prepared my hydration packs, and I packed, and it's off to Nagoya. Before I went as well, I really was excited to bring a new cosplay along. Since I was an alumni, I had a bit more flexibility with which characters I could choose, and I found this really amazing March 7th cosplay that I really wanted to wear, and I was really excited. I got the cosplay, I got the wig, I got the contacts, I had it all ready until I tried it on and it didn't fit. For some reason, my bust and waist measurements were accurate to the cosplay, but the goddamn shoulders, they were not gonna fit. I don't even have that big shoulders, okay? Something about Japanese costumes, or no, not just Japanese costumes, manufactured cosplays sometimes have the tiniest eeny weeny bincy incy wincy arms that you've ever seen. Let me know if you've had an experience like that where you buy a cosplay and everything fits except for the armholes. So I put it aside. Unfortunately, it is too much work for me to fix in the time that I had before Nagoya. I just had to pick up my Sumire Hayana cosplay from Love Live, which I thought is an easy uniform cosplay that I can get dirty, it can be sweated in, and I can wash it, which is important. But I really wanted to look my best, so it ended up being a little bit of a con crunch trying to style my wig the night before we left, because I wanted to add the drill curls, and I've only really done one wig thing that was kind of similar to a drill curl, which was the 𝐬𝐻 that Emma has from The Promised Neverland, which was my Australian rep costume from 2 years ago. But yes, it's been a while and I'm a little bit rusty with the wig styling, so I really need more practice, but I'm pretty proud of how they turned out with just hot glue, some felt, and some pipe cleaners that I found at Daiso. But you know, cosplay is all about being resourceful. So I took the Shinkansen from Tokyo to Nagoya, and immediately as soon as I got there, the temperature went all the way up to 39 pleasant degrees, which was delightful. And once I checked into my hotel, I thought it's time for a sweet treat. It is Friday. We have the red carpet event happening on Friday. So I thought before we get into cosplay, let's try this matcha place that I had saved. We made it! Now let's go eat and get in the aircon. I think this means you can cosplay here. And then get that. This one. Compare them, because look at yours. This is the normal one, and then cream, just cream.
This is just cream.
Just cream.
Nothing. There's green and cream.
Green and cream, and on the bottom is white too. And then this is just biscuit.
And that is just creamy green. We've done it. Green,
ice cream,
creamy green, creamy green.
Let's do it. Looks delicious. Okay, dozo. Let's drink. But this matcha, let me tell you, was not it. This matcha had no flavor. It tasted like cream and then water. At least the ice cream was good, but man, I was disappointed. Something cool I noticed though is that outside this matcha shop, there was a sign for World Cosplay Summit saying that you could cosplay inside the restaurant, which if you don't know, rules in Japan around cosplay are very tight and very strict. You are not allowed usually to wear the cosplay anywhere you would normally in a Western country. So like no train, no cafes, no restaurants, no like just casual out and about. Usually you buy a cosplay change room ticket where you go in, you change into your cosplay, and then you have an area in which you are allowed to cosplay in. But WCS is a little bit different in that it takes over the entire Nagoya Oasis 21 area, and all the shops inside that, not all, but like pretty much all of them allow for cosplay, which is really great. So the red carpet event is a really fun event. It's the big opening to the public for the WCS festivities. All the competitors have already been doing their pre-judging and interacting with their omotenashi students, but this is the first one open to the public. I did apply to participate in the red carpet event as an alumni, but unfortunately this year I was not selected. They only had a very limited amount of spots available, and they wanted to give everyone equal opportunity to participate across all events, which is a shame. I wish that we could have all participated because it meant that I didn't really get to know my fellow alumni that well, and I missed out on the opportunities to really hang out and do things together and participate in the events the way that we would have in previous years. But I decided that wouldn't stop me, and I decided to cosplay to the red carpet, which was really hot but really fun. It was really great just being able to see how many people come out from like Nagoya and maybe even across Japan traveling to this event to cosplay together. There were so many photographers lined up taking photos in all kinds of spots all across the Oasis 21, especially on the rooftop where there was some really pretty views where you have the tower and the buildings and it's all light up and it's very nice. And so all the official World Cosplay Summit representatives take a look down the red carpet, and there is a live orchestra playing anime and game soundtracks live, which is really amazing to watch. This year they were all dressed up as Mario, Luigi, and there was a few, like the conductor was Bowser, which I thought was really funny, and I think I saw a Toad as well, which I love it. Everyone gets in the spirit. Even the mayor of Nagoya, he also dressed up this year, I think from Dragon Ball. I don't really know the character, but he is getting more and more elaborate with all his cosplays. In my year, I believe he cosplayed from a basketball anime, and the year before he cosplayed as Hal from Howl's Moving Castle, which he copped flack for because the netizens said that he was too old to be portraying Hal, which is so mean. He's doing his best, he's getting in the spirit. Like I don't think the mayor of Brisbane would dress up in cosplay for, you know, the anime convention, but, you know, the effort counts, right? And whilst at the red carpet event, I got to meet one of my mutuals, 𝐬𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐚𝐜, who I've been following online for quite some time now. She makes the most incredible builds, especially like tech, 3D printing, electronics, like the lights that she has in her cosplays are absolutely freaking incredible. So if you want to look up to somebody who's crafting in that space, please check her out. And after taking a few photos at the red carpet, we decided to go home and get an early night for the next day. Which leads us to day 2, which is meant to be the 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐢 Parade. The 𝐬𝐮𝐬 Parade is an event where you walk along with all the teams around the old shopping district and then end up at a beautiful shrine and take a gorgeous group photo together. But when I did this in 2023, I got almost heat stroke and it was way too hot, so I decided, you know what? I'm not going to participate in the 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐢 Parade this time. Which I almost regretted because they moved it to the afternoon and they made it half as long, so it's way less strenuous on the competitors because they literally have to compete the next day. You can't be getting heat stroke when you have to perform the next day. And instead, I decided to make the most of a free day and I went to the Ghibli Park, which you can check out my experience in another video. But once I came back from the Ghibli Park, I got to get dinner, not lunch, dinner with my good friends, Team Brazil, Luis and Kelly, which I was so excited to see again because they were also Team Brazil in 2023. These guys are incredible people and cosplayers and actors, and I'm just blown away by the level of talent. They inspire me so much, so it made me really happy that we got to hang out a little bit and get dinner together at an izakaya in Nagoya. But it was an early night because they had to be up and ready for the championship. On day 3, which is the massive event, that is the big day, the big one, the big day, the championship is happening. So that morning they added another event which I got to participate in as an alumni called the opening stage, the opening Oasis 21 stage. That was what it was called. I had no idea what I was going into, but I showed up in my little cosplay, in my little sumire outfit and we did a little walk up on stage. We did a little wave, a little smile, a wave, and then a very cute idol group, which was, I think it's called 6% gradation, I think was the group, and they were cosplaying as the official mascots for WCS, and they also performed the WCS official song, which is really catchy, by the way. I almost fell off the stage too. There was one part where I looked back and I realized my foot was like, my left foot was literally already 40% off the stage. So thank God I have good balance. Once the opening stage wrapped up, we only had a 1 hour break. So I ran to get some lunch and then headed over to the Aichi Arts Center, which is where the champion takes place. And it's where it took place in my year in 2023. So it was really nostalgic, natsukashi, to be back in the theater and also to see so many familiar faces of the organizers running the event who honestly put so much care into everything that they do, and it's really nice to just be able to see them all working hard to bring this event to life, because wow, what an undertaking. Can you imagine organizing 41 countries, different languages, and so many different performances and cosplays and things? Oh my gosh, it is a whole ordeal. So I was very happy this year to take my seat in the second row as a judge. I got to judge the World Cosplay Summit, which is a dream come true. I have never been able to judge. I absolutely loved getting to watch the competition from such close quarters, getting to see the performances of all the, like, I don't even want to call them cosplays. Like, yes, you're a cosplayer, but at this point you're like acting. You are full on portraying these characters in a theater, like the emotions on the faces where it's like, it made me speechless. And so because the performances are so short, I was just sitting there like amazing, like speechless, and then immediately as soon as they ended, I had to quickly write my notes out as fast as I could about what I thought. And because we were giving out first, second, third, and voting who we think should be placed first, second, third, and the best action, which is like fighting or choreography, that kind of thing. Best drama, which is the most like immersion, what made me feel the most pain or love or drama in my heart. and 3, which was best gimmick. Because if you've watched WCS before, you know that cosplayers like to pull out all kinds of tricks to wow the audience, which is honestly so much fun. And this year I was so blown away at the amount of gimmicks, the amount of costume changes that were perfectly executed to the point where I blinked and I missed it. And I was like, wait, what just happened? Like, where did the costume go? Like, so smooth, incredible. And some really, really fun technology. Some tricks, I don't even know how they did. Just sticks appearing out of thin air. And like Team Brazil, his head like came off. I don't know how they did it. I just sat there in awe, appreciating so much of what goes into all of these people's performances. I know how many hours of blood, sweat, and tears, and dedication, and motivation, and how much you have to push through to get to that point as a team. It was incredible to see everybody working so hard together and so well together. And of course, I had such a hard time picking who I thought was suitable. Everyone was a winner to me. Like, honestly, everybody made me feel something. So I'm very, very happy. I really, really loved, especially Team Japan's skit this year. They didn't have any dialogue in their skit, and instead they played, I think it's called a taiko drum. I'm so sorry if it's not a taiko drum. It's like the big giant shrine style drums that they pull out for Matsuri, and they were smashing with their whole spirit, passion, doing the live drumming. It was absolutely incredible to see IRL. And unfortunately, I watched the live stream back and it didn't capture the actual atmos in the room of the theater, so you miss out on hearing them smack that drum. And because there are 41 countries, you might be thinking, damn, that's a long show. Yes, it is. I was in that theater from 12 p.m. until about 8 p.m. at night. It was literally about 8 hours from like start to finish to award ceremony, a very long time. But what they do is they break it up into 6 groups of about 6 teams. So it makes it nice, and you get a little break in between, where in these breaks they like to interview the judges, because they also have guest judges that were sitting in front of us in the first row. And there's a collection of different people across the industry, some people from the games industry, some people from kabuki theater, and some musicians. Every year they change it up. Also voice actors, they like to bring in people from all across the Japanese entertainment, pop culture, media industry. And while they're interviewing the guest judges, we, the alumni, are sat right behind. And so if you happen to be in the background of that shot, the amount of people who tag me in stories being like, look, it's Marmalade, look, it's you, look. And once all of the skits are finished, there was a musical performance by a group that's done a bunch of anime openings. I unfortunately was unfamiliar with them, but it was a really great show. I didn't really get to pay attention because in that time where they were performing was the time where we needed to vote. And so the award ceremony happened. We didn't know who was gonna win. It was also us finding out in real time on stage as they were getting called. And it was really incredible, and it made me really happy to see everyone's reactions, and just also people, the cosplayers having a little bit more fun when they come on for the award ceremony. They're let their guard down a little bit. The show is done, now they can relax, and you can really see that and feel that, get to see their personality a bit clearer. So well done to Team USA for taking the championship this year. They did an absolutely incredible job. Please go and watch their skit. It is so cute. I was smiling the whole time. It really made my heart feel warm and fuzzy, you know, which is great. I love that. I love seeing how many skits this year were just like uplifting, and you know, you don't always need super drama. The drama is cool and great, but I love the use of creativity in the storylines and just the writing that you guys are doing in these skits. It's really uplifting, and it's a great experience to sit there in the theater and then I like feel like I didn't even know these characters, but I felt so happy watching it. After the awards ceremony, I got to go backstage a little bit because I got to meet Team UAE, the representatives. They were so kind. I absolutely loved the Love Life costumes, and it made me so happy being able to see them up close, because even though I was in the second row, I wanted to get even closer to the costumes so I can look at the embroidery and the beading, and they're so sparkly. And I'm a big Love Live fan, so this was a very happy moment for me to get to meet them as fellow Idol fans. They were super sweet, and it made me sad and made me wish that I had more time to interact and engage with the representatives this year. As alumni, we were really kind of kept separate from everybody, which is a shame, and it makes me wonder in previous years if it was always like this, or if this year maybe they've really changed it a lot. And the moment you've been waiting for, what was the news? What is it all changing? What is happening in the WCS space? Well, you know that awful goddamn summer heat that I was telling you about? Hooray, huzzah, they are moving the championships in 2027 to November. A beautiful month, a wonderful month, a much cooler month, and no more summertime Nagoya WCS. I am so relieved about this news, and I can't wait to go back and cosplay anything without worrying about heat stroke ever again. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So if you've ever wanted to enter the World Cosplay Summit, but you've held back because of the heat, well, now is the time. Go and enter. It's gonna be nice and cool. So I personally think that is the best news. I'm very, very happy about that. And once the championships were all wrapped up, the news had come out, the awards were given, I decided to get changed and get the thing that I was looking forward to all day, which was Mexican. I freaking love Mexican food. Living in Japan, I have just grown to appreciate it so much more. So I was very happy to have my tacos and my nachos and my sangria after the championship was done. It was the perfect way to wrap the weekends. And it's already over. Damn, just like that. It's so much quicker than last year. I feel like not that much happened compared to 2023 when I was an actual representative. Very different being an alumni this year, but I still had a great time, and I'm glad I went this year. I definitely want to try going again in future. I'd really like to wear something that I made myself. This year, unfortunately, I was just so busy going to America for like 3 weeks, which I know I need to make videos about. They're coming, or they've already come out. I'm sorry about the delays. But I'm glad I still got to cosplay in the end, and I had to let go a bit of my perfectionism of wanting to everything to be this specific way that I imagined. Sometimes you just gotta show up, and even if you're not showing up as exactly the way you wanted to, I think it's still important that your voice is there, your spirit is there, you're bringing yourself out. And they did touch on this a little bit in WCS during the speeches and the wrapping up of the award ceremony, and how hikikomori, I'm like gonna say that completely wrong, but people who are stuck inside, and how cosplay has kind of been a gateway for them to be able to enjoy the outside world again through characters that they love. And I think this is definitely true, I think, for a lot of us in the West too, who grew up maybe my generation, where cosplay wasn't as big as it in mainstream as it is now, but being into anime and being a bit of a nerd, being a bit of an outcast, it was harder to make friends. And so coming out to cosplay events, to anime conventions where you are able to portray a character who can give you all the confidence in the world, and you already know that people like, and it's an ability like to just immediately connect with other people who also like that fandom, who also like that media. So it's like really nice to hear that sentiment is being expressed now again, and maybe is helping people become less lonely in Japan. I know the problem is still way bigger, and cosplay can't fix all of it, but it's nice to hear that it is contributing at least. And yeah, made me realize, oh yeah, I love going outside to cosplay. It's a fun hobby. It's worth all the blood, sweat, and tears, right guys? Right? No, for reals, I've made some of my best friends through cosplay, and it's taken me around the world. I would not be living here in Japan right now if it weren't for cosplay and the World Cosplay Summit. So yeah, kind of crazy. Go cosplay, you never know where you might end up. And as a final note, I just want to add that after Nagoya was finished, I made my way over to Osaka for a little bit to shoot something exciting. And while I was there, I got to go to the Pokemon Center, which I love. I loved the Pokemon Center. They have the 3 legendary bird Pokemon statues there. And right next door, I found this amazing Cardcaptor Sakura pop-up booth that had 2 of the costumes, which were so beautifully made, but no credit given given to who made them, which is irritating. But I just wanted to share with you guys because I thought it was a little bit relevant to this topic of how beautiful these costumes are. And I'm like, especially the ribbon one, I was like, I didn't even know you could make something this clean. So it's incredible to see what humans can make, and I just hope that maybe this inspires you to go craft, go make things, go make cool things and show them to the world. And if you are working on something, please leave me a comment below to let me know what you're cosplaying or what you're working on next. I'd love to know. All right, that's it for this week's video. Thank you for tuning in. My name was Marmalade. If you'd like to subscribe, I noticed that only 30% of you who are watching actually subscribe, so it would help me a lot if you actually hit the subscribe button so you can hang out and watch more videos about Japan cosplay niches, being creative, escaping your house and not being lonely anymore. It sounded like I said snot, but I said not. All right, it's time to go. Have a good one. Bye.